One of my personal favorite topic is the issue of credibility. Credibility, I think, has been established to not exist in the Johnson County, Kansas courthouse, the Kansas, Missouri courthouse, because I've been arrested for fiction. I call it fiction. I think in reality, by the definition of fiction, it's just pure fairy tale bullshit for trespassing, molesting, and raping, assault, battery, women, things. Merrill Lynch, Smith, Barney, Payne Weber, Morgan Stanley, Stock, Oppenheimer. Over the last 25 years since I got my master's, where these punk ass faggots have said my degrees don't matter. My ownership of the company doesn't matter. And the Kansas State Securities Commission faggots did the same thing in Topeka, Kansas, when they denied my license after I fought to take the test and passed it. I'm on probation for making a so-called threat on my Craigslist resume to nuke these faggots. So, credibility. Well, credibility, one, as I stated earlier, you own one share of Merrill Lynch, you own one share of Payne Weber, the parent company, one share of Smith Barney, or the parent company. That means you own the company, period. There's no arguing and babbling. Any argument about that, you spend the rest of your life in prison. I take all your money for my lifestyle as a billionaire. The other issue of credibility is people say my degrees don't matter. Anybody who says that has zero credibility. People have said that to me in Johnson County Mental Health, where I've been in a court order to be evaluated. Osawatomie, Kansas State Hospital, where they drugged me up like Nazis. Lawyers, Topeka Securities Commission. Credibility. You see, people have tried to label me as mentally ill and crazy. I was told when I was in high school that geniuses like me who went to top schools in America, that if you come back here, they do it to you. Well, when I was in college, I didn't have anybody better than me coming up and offering me a market rate paycheck. The interviews, a couple I had at Purdue were, basically jobs were not good enough for me. And the people interviewing me didn't have masters from top schools. They were mostly all inferior. Credibility. My dad, was listed as a top liar in America, Harvard Law School, Wharton econ degree, Simpson Morris Necker Law Firm. Now, he says my degrees don't matter. Don't tell people I have degrees. Ownership don't matter. He brainwashed me to thinking Video Corner, working for myself, being an owner was the only way to get rich in America. Well, Video Corner didn't put money in my pocket, when I worked there. And my dad took, whoever he is, took all the money to lock me up in mental hospitals where they fucked with me. Credibility. You see, nobody I know has an ounce of credibility. Nobody. Nobody. Because they've all established precedents of bullshit games, lies, and bullshit on different levels, some on minute, teeny levels, but I remember little things like this. You see, because once you establish, that you're a lying punk scum, whatever, even if it's on a tiny, meaningless saying, that establishes the kind of person you are, and I remember little things a lot of times, and you know what, I remember these things. And I remember the first time I got arrested at Merrill Lynch on the plaza. They said it was private property. Well, the plaza was owned by J.C. Nichols. I bought a share of J.C. Nichols to own the place. And Merrill Lynch. And, I've heard all kinds of mafia murder stories and idiots. I think they're all insane. I don't know what it is, who the hell they are. It ought to be public knowledge. Anybody wants who owns the place, like me. Anyway, credibility. Read the Wall Street Journal newspaper, TV. You see different pictures of people who are like famous rich people, T. Boone Pickens, some of these corporate raiders, or different people who, I look at because I'm after money, and I read the magazine, who's got the money. What do they do to get the money? That's part of education. Reading Fortune magazine, Wall Street Journal, seeing who has the money, how much money they have, how they get it. Real life experience is education too. And as I said, my real life education is why I went to school. My real life experience is why I went to school, and my real life experience made my school meaningless bullshit. So there you go, babies. Credibility. Well, I got this check in the mail today. It's from this guy right here. The check. Mark Davis, California. That's me. George A. Crawford, my address. Now here's the check. It's written at a bank in what does it say? Commerce Bank. 8th Hire Consulting. Well, no, that's not the right check. Where's my big check? I got a big check. Oh, here it is. I got this check from Pioneer Business Services in New York. It's handwritten. It's not a computer forged check. Now, it has a watermark in it. When I hold it up to my light, I can see a watermark. So this is not a computer-generated forgery of a check. It's a real check from a real banking account. Now, the amount of money on it is what I say. I said this check was $1,950 right there. Made out to me. George A. Crawford III. Pay it by John Wood. Now, I'm not quite sure what this check is for, except for I have advertisement on the internet for a Craigslist, my room for rent, and people email me saying they're going to pay me rent in advance. Now, a lot of checks I get are computerized checks that don't have a watermark on them and don't have a personal handwritten thing or anything. This check has a watermark on it, and it is handwritten. So, you know, I think what it probably might be is, since they're from different addresses, I don't know, I'm going to deposit it. See how long it lasts my account. I deposited one last week. It bounced after 2 days, and I got charged $19-20. So this $1,900, if I got access to it, what I'll do is take it and make money with that $1,900. One time I got a check for $60,000. It didn't bounce for 3 or 4 months. I made $20,000-$30,000 with that check in the stock market and paid my bills. So I'm going to see if I can cash this check and how long it'll last in my bank account. Credibility. Well, this check does have more credibility. It is handwritten, it has a watermark. But, you know, I think it's probably, I don't know, I think it's probably some scam, but who knows? I'll probably cash it, see how long it lasts my bank. Last 2 or 3 months, maybe I can make, you know, $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 of it. Credibility, well, I'm just telling people the way it is here. I got nothing to hide because I'm not guilty. I've never had anything to hide. I just say it like it is. I'm not a billionaire. Some people say I'm poor, snot off to me. They're usually little punks, baby faggots, sucking on each other's cocks. You know, you ain't a billionaire. You don't make $1 billion a year, so why do you think you are, faggots? You know, I do work for money. I guess I said I measure people by the size of their house. Well, I mean, people who cock off to me and call me poor, they're insinuating I'm poor, so, you know, you can just measure them by the size of their house. Because if they're going to pick a fight, mouth off to me, look at their house and the size of it. If people won't think they're rich when I'm poor, do they live in a $100 million house making $1 billion a year? Hell no, because nobody does around here does. You know, so I mean, I really do measure people a lot by their money because I work for money, and you can't lie about the size of your house. Now, some people are not all about money. I mean, you know, if somebody wants to pick a fight about rich poor, then I'm going to hit them back harder. I mean, I'm going to fight back whatever the fight is. People want to talk about I'm trespassing because I didn't own enough stock of Merrill Lynch to matter. How much did you own, faggot? How much did the guy who arrested me own, faggots? Nobody owned 51%, faggots. Be a majority owner, faggots. Nobody owned 1%, faggots. Some people say I'm trespassing because, you know, they got this sick, I'm not 6 foot tall, or my grade point in mechanical engineering was below 3 point. Well, you know, I mean, whatever reason people want to say I was trespassing, you know, I mean, everybody makes up some other bullshit. That's why my resume on Craigslist a year and a half ago, I typoed this nuke remark because they're a bunch of punk-ass faggots. It's a business open to the public, publicly held corporation. So in that essence, there's no such thing as trespassing. And if you want to get down to nitty-gritty ownership trespassing, I'll grant it. I'll buy 1 share as a token to own the place, period. And like I said, nobody owned 51% of Merrill Lynch, Smith, Barney, Paine-Webber, Morgan Stanley, or the parent companies. So disrespect to 1 share. Yeah, that's what you see. That's why these punks are faggots. That's what they always were. And they're dumb. They're high school dropouts. I say my degrees don't matter. They're punks who disrespect. They need to be disrespected by everybody in America. And I need to be a billionaire. I need $10 billion a year. So I can lounge at my leisure, do whatever I feel like, whenever I feel like, 'cause that's the way it's supposed to be. My lifestyle. So rich and famous, 49 years old with this complete head of hair. You see, I'm not bald. You see all these bald guys running around? I'm not bald. I got nothing to worry about, do I? Bald guys are bald. Cliche, you go bald if you work. I guess bald guys have something to worry about. I've had comments about like my nose. I got a big nose. I guess I do have a big nose. I made this joke. You know what they say about guys with big noses? They got big something else, don't they? Yeah. You know I'm talking about, girls, don't you? Yeah.